Hello there and welcome at Hiveworld and Spieldurst here in Cologne. I am Aurelien and today I will show you Figurata, the new game by 10 Traders, a small publishing company that's very close to us. And this time it's a party and communication game. You can play it with 3 people and more, starting at 6 years of age. No problem for the whole family, and it takes about 30 minutes to play, which means you can play a few rounds in a nice evening. Yeah, the author of the game is Thomas Singh, which might already be known for Die Crew, or The Crew, which won the Kennerspiel des Jahres prize a few years back. So, let's dive in. So this is the whole playing field for Figurata, or at least for the cards. You'll need a bit of space to depict the figures that are on the cards here. So you've got a space that's 5 by 5 cards big. Obviously you've got a lot of different cards that are printed on both sides with different figures on them. So you have a lot of different symbols to depict. Each round, one person will have to depict four different figures. Obviously, if you want to make it a bit harder, you can make it a bit harder. You've got 5 and 6 on those sheets as well. You'll look at each one of the cards separately, so you don't know which ones will appear later. You show this card to no one. That's very important because the other people will have to guess. So we've got the 15. This one is the 15. I'll have to depict this card using my body without trying to show other objects or use wrist clock or anything except my body. Obviously, I can use only parts if I wish. I can use my whole body. I can try to depict that by using my arms, but I could also try using only my hands, depending on what symbol I'm trying to show, and obviously of how well I can move. So you could also play that with your grandparents that have a bit more difficulty to move. The people guessing all have these point sheets for each card. That would be first, second, and so on. You can write the number you guessed. So if this is the 15, you can guess it's the 15. Put it there. The first person to guess says 1. And can make a little cross on that stick figure to show that they were the first person to guess. The second person to guess says 2, and then the first and second person alternates to count up to 10. When 10 has been said, the round is done. The people who have not put a guess in cannot guess anymore, and you continue to the next card. When the first person has guessed, obviously you as the person who depicted the figure have to stop moving so everyone sees the same thing to guess the number. After all four figures for this round have been played, we'll look on those sheets. The people who had the right number, obviously you'll show which numbers are the right ones, get 1 point. You can tick that small spot there. If you guessed it right and had the first player spot, you can put a circle around the next number in line. At the end of the game, you would get obviously as many points as the last number that you have a circle around. If you guessed first but didn't guess the right number, you would not get any points. And you continue for all the cards that have been depicted. And then the person who had to show the figures can check if any person, it doesn't need to be 2, 3 or 4 people, if just one person has guessed the figure right, then you will get a point as well. And then obviously you count the total, and at the end of the game you count your game total. The person with the most points wins the game. In each guessing round. So after each person, you also take away the cards that have been used in that round and replace them by a new card. So two people will not have to show the same card in the same game. There's also a team variant for that game. In this version, you do not use the sheets here. You just need to take a timer. The best option is to use your phone, set that on 2 minutes, or at least that's the one that is recommended. And you try to make your team guess as many cards as possible in those 2 minutes. They can speak with each other, and as soon as they point to a card to say, we think this one is the right one, you have to check if it's right. If it's right, you get a point. If it is not, then you continue on for the remainder of the 2 minutes with the next cards and try to win as many cards as possible in these 2 minutes. So those are all the rules for Figurata. After everyone has depicted the figures once, or the 4 times once the game ends, you obviously will count the points for every time you had to guess or to depict, and the points you get for guessing as the first person, and add those. The person with the most points will win the whole game, and then you can start the next round. I hope this explanation helped you and that the game sounds nice to you. We have this in our store here in Cologne, Hohe Straße 18 and 22, and in our online store www.hiveworld.de. I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, I wish you a wonderful time playing games.